Holy technical problems. I've been at this for hours. Either TikTok crashes or it adds in some stupid silent sound effect. Anyway, hopefully you see this. I'm going to talk about the GDP and the current state of the trade war, Canada's safety, and a little reminder. In Alberta, relying on oil, just giving you a heads up. Let me start with Canada and its safety, because apparently we're looking at removing human rights to make Canada a safer place. So let's just see how safe we are first. From Berkshire Hathaway Travel Protection, safest countries in the world. Do we really need to remove human rights? I'll remind you that Iceland has fewer people in it than London, Ontario does. Global Peace Index. The lighter the color, the safer the country. Number 11. Could we do better? Yes. Should we remove human rights to get there? As a reminder, because we're constantly told about this catch and release problem, that's a provincial issue. If you're arrested because you did something, you're going to go to a provincial correctional center. Federal correction centers are for people who are going to do a long haul. And our prisons are near capacity. So if you want that problem fixed, talk to your MPP and your premier. Because removing human rights won't create more space in the correctional center. Not to mention. All right, this is important because it's going to lead into the next little bit. The United States so far has agreed to stick to the KOSMA agreement. You know, the agreement they made last time? That they're sticking to an agreement shouldn't be news. But it's important because it's likely going to be a really bad year. Now, last year, 38% of the imports going to the United States from Canada were compliant under the KOSMA agreement. Everything else was not compliant, but there were no tariffs, so no one cared. Now there's tariffs, so people are rushing to make their product compliant. So 86% of our exports to the US should ultimately be tariff-free. That's good news. Now the bad news. The GDP report for February comes out, as well as an advanced estimate for March, and both of them mean nothing, because April's going to be shit. Why am I saying that? Because our GDP tends to follow the price of oil. Let me show you again, especially if you live in Alberta. This is really important if you live in Alberta. There's our GDP. I know, for some of you, you're surprised it's not flat. Anyway, 2002, look at that big spike upwards towards 2008. What was happening? Well, the price of oil was increasing, and it made the oil sands viable. So Canada rode that wave until 2008. Then there was a little bit of a hiccup, but oil recovered, as did our GDP. But then, May of 2014. I know some of you remember it differently. You thought it happened after Justin Trudeau got elected and he did it all. But no. If you lived in Alberta, you remember these days, right? People were buying big houses and cool cars, and they had all this money, and then all of a sudden it seemed like overnight it went away. Because overnight it went away. Right there. Then the recovery, then COVID, and then we shot back up. Just like oil. Recovery, COVID, shot back up. And here's the reality. The price around here, it's probably going to stay around there for a while. Barring some type of additional catastrophe. Point is, it's likely not going to go back here. Doesn't matter what we do. There's no project that's going to make the price of Canadian oil go to that level again. On top of that, there's the trade war. China consumes a lot of global oil, but China also produces a lot of green energy and green solutions. And this trade war is going to push more people to trade with China. And China's going to push those green energy solutions out into the world, like the electric cars. And yeah, we're going to need oil for a long time because, 75-80% of the products in our lives are made with oil? We deliver them with oil? But we won't be burning up the oil. Our habits are going to change. So this will probably stay in this area. Those days ain't coming back. And there's more countries that have oil and they want to get in on this business. Canada needs to diversify. We can't allow oil to push our GDP around like this. We can leverage it for now, but we got to find something else.